All right, so welcome to session 9 of the Archetypical Mind Study Group. Tonight or today we are doing a summary of all the archetypes of the mind. Let's start with the prayer of light.
Love before me, love behind me, love at my left, love at my right, love above me, love below me, love in me, love in my surroundings, love to all, love to the universe. Peace before me, peace behind me, peace at my left, peace at my right, peace above me, peace below me, peace in me, peace in my surroundings, peace to all, peace to the universe. Light before me, light behind me, light at my left, light at my right, light above me, light below me, light in me, light in my surroundings, light to all, light to the universe.
We thank the one infinite creator for this opportunity to serve, to know ourselves, to accept ourselves, and to become creators. Let our hearts be filled with gratitude to those of Ra for bringing us the archetypes as a tool for this inner work, and those of Quo for extending our knowledge of these tools. We extend our gratitude to the channeling team at LL Research for bringing us this knowledge. We invite Quo to join us in this working. We also invite our guides, our higher selves, and the Ascended Masters to grace us with your presence and to show us what we need to know. May all beings find what they truly seek. Amen.
Thank you. So this is the first and only quote from Ra that we have here today. Ra, the controlled use of the archetype is that which is done within the self for the polarization of the self and to the benefit of the self, if negatively polarized, or others, if positively polarized, upon the most subtle of levels. Keep in mind at all times that the archetypical mind is a portion of the deep mind and informs thought processes. When the archetype is translated without regard for magical propriety into the manifested daily actions of an individual, the greatest distortions may take place and great infringement upon the free will of others is possible. This is more nearly acceptable to the one negatively polarized. However, the more carefully polarized of negative mind-body spirits will also prefer to work with a finely tuned instrument. So it can go both ways.
You are not your mind. You are not your emotions. You cannot exhaust the qualities of yourself regardless of how long you look, how deeply you search, or how prayerfully you mine the rich load of the deep mind in attempting to affix to the self a deeper and more permanent personality. Quote.
As each seeker goes deeper, he will find the images and the themes of the archetypal mind beginning to have more substance within his awareness of who he is. He may begin to identify himself with beauty or truth or power or love as he sees within the living myth of his own growing legend the shape of underlying archetype. And these considerations, too, aid in knowing the self. This quest shall always be a work in progress.
If you have the patience to watch through the processes that the mind puts you as an entity through, you may come to these peculiar moments of awareness, as this instrument would call it, where you are beyond the details and into that spacious part of the self that moves beneath that dense geometry of the surface experience into the much broader and more mystery-filled caverns, mountains, and ranges of the archetypical mind. This works, for the most part, on image, on myth and idea, and the connections that create new places within the mind. Quote.
In this regard, it is well to know that built into astrology, built into archaeology, built into the study of the archetypes, indeed, built into almost every way that one can examine the self, there is that combination of science and art, fact and myth, reason and inspiration. Allow these dynamics to play as your mind considers these relationships.
Indeed, those who read and study archetypes are forever caught within the mind and are kept by their very mindfulness and scholarship from entering deeply into and becoming the archetypes that they study. However, those who release the archetypes at last from the stricture of mind and enter into them through the heart have entered into a path that has been followed by many.
I love this one. And as they walk the path that this story configures and suggests, they enrich that path by every thought that they think and every desire that arises in relation to this story and these characters, this myth and the archetypes that the myth pulls out of the geography of your deep mind. Growing from the roots of these relatively fixed parts of the archetypal mind is a living plant, a living tree, shall we say, of knowledge, of understanding.
It is in the state of your mind as you approach the present moment that the use of the archetypes lies. The archetypical mind, as has been iterated often during this gathering, is a resource of the deep mind. It is a plat, if you will, of energy paths that are possible within the system of illusions that constitutes space-time and time-space within third density upon your planet. It is a finite, delimited resource created for use by third density entities within incarnation upon planet Earth.
It is a comprehensive encyclopedia of what this instrument has several times called the roadmaps available for getting from here to there within the inner geography of that infrastructure of roads, byroads, lanes, and little tiny paths that constitutes ways in which you may turn and make choices when you're investigating how to respond to that which you see coming into your view in the present moment.
How easy it is when attempting to understand the archetypal mind to attempt to see that mind in the context of a busy world. And yet, it is in the spiritual realm entirely that the world of the archetype moves, feeding, informing, fructifying the structures of the roots of mind, that as the spirit gazes at its evolutionary spiral, it may have tools and resources with which to guide the self in the choices related to its perception of itself as an ethical being.
Simply holding the intention to use this relationship and state of dreaming itself will change the nature of the dreaming and begin to develop a certain language or certain unique imprint that the unconscious mind presents to the conscious mind in the dream state. This is an initial stage in which the seeker who diligently utilizes this communication may begin to find certain patterns, certain symbolism, and certain individual archetypes playing out regularly.
These aspects of the dream may hint to the seeker a great many aspects of their journey, whether it be biases or wounds needing to be healed within the self, or potential ways of service, or even help the conscious mind to perceive things far beyond what would regularly be within the realm of the conscious mind, such as an insight into relationships or interpersonal dynamics that may be useful for the seeker in order to be of service to others.
The difficulties which one discovers if one attempts to move into the archetypical mind with a bulldozer is that one will destroy the very scenery one has come to enjoy without ever understanding its character, for there are many portions of the deep mind, and those which are won by force are those which shall be archetypes not particularly helpful to one upon the path of service to others.
This consciousness learns within incarnation through harvesting the net results of the processes that the mind moves through. Within consciousness, there reside what can be called archetypes of meaning. Each is familiar with the concept of the archetypical mind. This archetypical mind has two levels for the benefit of this particular consideration. The two levels being that portion of the physical mind into which memories go, and that portion of the unconscious to which the larger memories of universal value go, so that there is that deep resource of the mind which holds racial memory, and that deep resource of consciousness which may be approximated dimly by consideration of archetypes.
There, in the deep portions of mind, exists the mind of the archetypes, and indeed, ultimately, the ground of consciousness becomes that which is, and that which is the Creator itself. Thusly, it is as though within the mind there lie templates whose doors are carefully guarded, and as one moves into the process of seeking the truth in a persistent and sacrificial manner, one begins to trigger or put the key into some of those temple doors.
In this regard, it is helpful to have some familiarity with the archetypical mind in one of those disciplines, such as the tarot, which attempt with some degree of success to capture the complex and many-layered values and colors of this tapestry of the self. When one gazes at a mother within the dream, looking for the archetypical match for this particular entity, one may perhaps find some degree of success holding each archetype in mind and allowing the dream figure to be matched to it.
The one who wishes to study the creation may fruitfully study what is popularly called the archetypical mind. Indeed, we know of no better name for this informational treasure house than the mind of the archetypes. It is archetypes rather than individuals which the stories of creation seek to illuminate, for creation of self-consciousness begins subjectively after creation. The consciousness, which is conscious of creation, is only that of the Creator, and within the illusions which all of us enjoy, there is no direct road to clear perception, unfortunately. Okay.
Thank you. So today we're going to bring together all the other meditations that we've done with the different archetypes, and it's also kind of a preparation for the work on the body archetypes as well. So we will invite all the archetypes that we've worked with to be in the room with us, not physical, but that space that we've been entering in when we've worked with them. And also, when the characters emerge, they might not be exactly the same as when they first came to you during the first time you did these meditations. And that's fine, because you've changed, they might have changed, it might be, something subtly different or dramatically different. So yeah, just observe and integrate, I guess, and keeping in mind that they are a part of you as well. Cool. Yeah, and also I'm going to ask Neely to keep the slide on. So if you want to look at the images, instead of closing your eyes, that might, if you prefer to do that, that might be more helpful for you, do so. Yeah, cool. Take a deep breath in, hold, out, hold, deep breath in, hold, out, hold, in again, hold, out, hold, and relax. Relaxing and sending, allowing your body to relax, starting from your toes, your feet, relax your ankles, your calves and shins, your knees, thighs, hips, moving up your torso gradually up towards the chest, up to the shoulders, down your arms to your elbows, moving down to your wrists, hands, and fingers, relaxing your neck, relaxing your jaw, cheeks, ears, moving up towards the crown of your head. Your whole body is relaxed. And now we open up the red ray energy center, orange ray energy center, the yellow ray energy center, the green ray energy center, the blue ray energy center, the indigo ray energy center, and the violet ray energy center. And allow the divine light, the universal light, to come in from the crown of our heads, infusing every energy center throughout an entire body, energetically as well. Or bring our attention to our heart center, to the smallest point possible in that dip in your chest area, in your rib cage, in the middle, as small a point as possible. Bring your entire attention to as small a point as possible. And try and move as deep as possible within that center. And if you can, focus that energy, that attention into a smaller and smaller space and sit with it. All of your attention in as small a space as possible, as deep as possible within your heart chakra. And then go, if you can, deeper still within that space. Become aware of all the 7 archetypes being in that space with you. If that's difficult, become aware that they're with you. Become aware of the magician, your old friend. Become aware of your high priestess who brings you from the fluid portion of your deep conscious mind, the things that you need, the knowledge that you need. Become aware that she is you and you are her, and that the magician is you and you are him. Become aware of the mother empress in the kitchen who brings you the nourishment that you need, whether you like it or not, whether you enjoy it or not. Become aware of her presence within you. Become aware of the emperor within, the experience of the mind, who is constantly trying to juggle his resources and his attention and energy. Become aware that you are the emperor. Become aware of the Hierophant in the room with you or in that space within your heart and its desire to be presented in a certain way. Become aware of the stage that the Hierophant within you is standing on. Become aware of your observer mind, observing the self, making choices. The observer mind watching you meditate. Become aware of yourself, your body, your mind, as a vehicle, whatever that might be, whether it's a vehicle that carries passengers, or a vehicle for one, or an animal that you ride. Become aware that you are the vehicle. Mm-hmm. Infuse yourself with gratitude to all these archetypes. And thank them for filling your journey for traveling on this path with you, for aiding you in your becoming of who you are in this present moment. And sit with these archetypes within yourself. And allow whatever happens to happen, staying with the observer mind. Is one of them more prominent than the other at the moment? Are all of them about the same? Without reaching for meaning or for any particular feeling, stay with the observer mind in the presence of all these archetypes, feeling gratitude for all of them, and love, acceptance, and forgiveness.